Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching this video today. I have an amazing guest and my inspiring client, Ashika Lazani, joining me today on this video to talk about what she does, how her life has been, and where she was before we started working together and where she is today. And just for reference, the time of the recording, we're still experiencing COVID quarantine. And it's at the height of coronavirus here, just to give you context in case you do watch this later. So without much further ado, I would like to turn the microphone to Ashika to tell us more about her. So Ashika, would you be able to just tell us what you do, who you are, where you were, and what you're experiencing right now?
Oh boy, I'm just like so ecstatic right now. I am a registered holistic nutritionist, and I work specifically with entrepreneurial women to just better their health so they can have more energy for life and for business. Prior to starting the program with you, I mean, I knew all the things that I should be doing.
Yeah.
But I wasn't doing, or I wasn't in the mindset, right? Like to have a clear vision of what needed to be done and how I needed to show up for myself and for my.
What would you say was your biggest issue before we started working together?
Time management. Time management was big, especially being a parent and prioritizing my business as my baby as well.
Yeah.
Like, especially when we have kids, it's like, we want to be there for them as a parent, as their caregiver, but we really need to start taking care of ourselves and what our ambitions are in life, right?
So was it tied to productivity then?
It was, yes, absolutely. Productivity and also the fear of being, I would say the fear of being seen and just getting myself out there.
Yeah. In your expertise.
In my expertise, because I mean, like I was seeing clients, but it wasn't as consistent on my part.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because I didn't have good time management skills or to prioritize my business, I felt like, I wasn't able to reach the clients that really need my help.
Yeah.
So this helped me just be there for them.
So this is surprising because someone like you who's very outgoing and very outspoken, like Ashika's always been on Instagram and like being out there, like she's been doing that for some time. But then what I want to emphasize is that even then you can still have this problem with visibility, right? Can you tell us more about that? Because I think a lot of people can relate to this.
You're absolutely right. Like I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. I was able to, like, I would have spurts of energy or spurts of like when I would be like really geared to put a lot of energy, and then it would just go away. Like it wasn't, the consistency wasn't there.
Right.
So and then times that I would show up, like I would attract a client that needs my help.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, I would just sort of lose that fire.
Yeah.
Right. That's how I felt. And like being in the program, being here with you, it kept the momentum.
Yeah. So it's been less than a month, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell the audience what results actually look like tangibly? Because people may have a hard time understanding, okay, well, so what can time management actually do for me? What can being consistent do for me? What can being more productive do for me? Because some people may not understand that. So can you tell us in tangible results in terms of like your calendar situation, in terms of clients coming on board? Can you tell us more about that?
Well, my calendar to Monday to Friday is booked. which, I mean, like if I was to like show you, it's like it's I've had to like it's so booked that I have to sort of shift to make life make sense.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm learning that as well now. I am, and I'm actually getting like word of mouth referrals as well. So clients that I have signed on to that are referring their family members and friends to me now, because I mean, even like working together for about like a week and a half to 2 weeks with me, they're seeing results, they're being present in their body. I'm also finding that I am, because of time management, I'm able to write as well, because I'm in the process of writing, so it allows me time, like allocate certain time for writing, allocate certain times for my son as well, and you got to have a little bit of play in there as well, right? So I'm finding that I am not as stressed, so I'm not like, not feeling like overwhelmed or exhausted. I am not beating myself up anymore for not being present. Financially, it's been amazing as well. So I mean,
that matters.
Yes.
Ashika, do you remember, it was less than a month, but like you were feeling less confident about the finances because of the COVID situation?
Yes.
You recall, and I think a lot of people, like, it feels very real, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, very real, especially like, I mean, in my career as a dental hygienist, I'm still part-time a dental hygienist, but I felt like because I was making a good income as a dental hygienist, it wasn't really pushing me to put that much effort into my own business.
Even though you want it, but even though you desperately want this, it still wasn't giving you, like, it's either you go all in or you don't survive, right?
Yeah.
It was never, because you're doing so well.
Yeah, and absolutely. That was sort of what kept me like going back towards dental hygiene, right? I mean, I'm grateful for the career, but I really wanted to create this for myself and the women that need my help, right? COVID really like took that, that security blanket off. And when it did, it kind of landed on my, behind. And then your program just came in, and it was like, I don't know, it was like the answer I was looking for, you know, and it gave me that push.
Yeah.
Right. And like you held me accountable for my hopes and dreams. Right.
Yeah.
And I want to create financially for myself as well.
Yeah. You had a pretty decent week last week where you start to see monetary results from doing the work consistently.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So this was like, maybe, is it 3 or 2 weeks in the program, you start to see monetary results.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how many clients you landed in 1 week?
I've landed 4 clients in 1 week.
That's pretty amazing.
and
these are higher ticket clients. Like, we're not talking about what some coaches charge. Like, we're talking about real hardy program packages that she was offering.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, I don't offer a magic pill for my clients, right? When they're signed on with me, they know what they're getting into. They know that they need to show up just as much as I'm going to be showing up for them.
Yeah.
Right. And it's creating life-changing habits and patterns, like breaking old patterns and creating new ones. And it's not a crash course, it's actually a lifestyle shift.
Yeah. Right? Well, my program is the same. I think right away it doesn't appeal to maybe some people, because everyone's looking for that magical transformation, like, Cinderella's fairy godmother, take me to become like this grandiose, new self.
Yeah.
People often fall into like marketing strategies, building a new funnel, having a better webinar, things like that. And in my program, we don't do any of those things, because actually it's not really necessary to get to 6 figures. If your first goal is 6 figures, you basically have to learn to be a master connector with people, understanding your people, understanding what's going on in their head, being able to give them exactly what they need, how to articulate your value, and pretty much all of it, like all of social media. And my methods are all organic, right? Meaning you don't pay for ads, you get clients using social media. And that is all to do with how you build relationships.
Absolutely. I was just thinking, building relationships, getting yourself out there. And I find what I was doing prior to being in the group was I was standing in my own way.
Yeah, always.
And that's when you say like, organically, like that's what I was doing. It wasn't like I had to look for something to shiny. Like it was literally like sitting there and looking at myself and looking at my life and my thoughts and my mindset,
Yeah.
and realizing that the only thing that's stopping me is me.
Yeah. We often don't know that it's our mindset. Like, I mean, like I talk about mindset all the time. Doesn't mean that my mindset is like perfect, because at every level, there's more mindset that we need to do, because mindset comes first and then results come after. And the same thing with your clients with their health, right? How they think about their health and their body and their food
Yeah.
is what's given them this result. So your role is to help them transform that. And
Right.
then the results is something they create.
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, with my clients, the first, like they come to me knowing that, they don't have a positive relationship with food, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not even about the food. It's
Mm-hmm.
the underlining conditioning. And it's the
Yeah.
same thing in like in the nutrition world. It's like there's an underlining factor there
Yeah.
that's preventing you from going from A to Z.
Mm-hmm.
So let's figure that out, and then we talk about the food, the relationship,
Yeah.
right?
Ashika, can you actually tell our audience more about what you exactly offer? So if anyone's watching this and they're interested in making their health better from somebody successful, because a successful coach is in the end a better coach, because her mindset is successful. That's why she has the results. So if anybody wants health help and they're looking at Ashika, can you tell us more about what you do?
Okay, so I offer different packages for my program, depending on how long we decide that we're going to work together. So I offer like 8 to 12 weeks of nutrition consultation,
Mhm.
geared towards my clients' goals, their outcome that they're expecting, and if they have any health concerns. So I also work with clients who are diabetic or pre-diabetic, heart condition, right? I'm anybody who's suffering from hormonal imbalance, especially with stress. Like stress is like, I should put it in capital letters,
Yeah.
all in the back.
All working women have stress. Let's face it. Not working women also have stress. Like full-time moms have major stress. But if
Yeah.
you're a working mom, plus you are, um, you have a whole career or business,
Yes.
and then you're also with your children, then more stress.
Yes, absolutely. I also offer bi-weekly meal plans.
Hmm.
I offer, obviously right now, with COVID, I can't go in and do a cooking class,
Right.
but what I would offer is a cooking class, or cooking classes that's within the package. And the biggest thing also is I offer kitchen detox and pantry detox. It's like going through somebody's dirty laundry.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right? So that's also included. And then we also talk about, if they're experiencing emotional eating, or they've had like past childhood negative relationship with food. So we address that. So there's definitely a life coaching aspect to it as well, or emotional coaching.
Hmm.
I also work with women that are they don't feel safe in their body. So if they're dealing with body shame or
Yeah.
self-judgment, they've had a history, of growing up and being always told a certain thing, that they have to be a certain way in their body. So I definitely work through the conditioning of their mind, and get them to the side where they can feel safe in their body, and recognizing that what the triggers are and how they can use those tools in the future. So really feeling safe in your skin,
Amazing.
body, mind, and spirit. So, and then the packages are just, I individually make them depending on what the client's needs are.
Yeah. Ashika, how did you get here? Because I think you have a very inspiring story. And I think a lot of women can learn from your journey. And men too, because journey is a transformation of where you've been to where you're going. So can you tell us briefly about how did you get here? Why did you choose health? Why did health become your thing and your legacy?
Ooh, I'm gonna get emotional now. It's very dear to my heart, and that's why I want to be that woman that I needed when I was in that place in my life. After after I left my marriage, it, you know, for me to see myself in the mirror, I saw nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't happy in my body. I was rejecting myself. I didn't know that I was rejecting myself. So when I would see myself, I didn't feel that I was worthy of love, and I didn't feel healthy in my body. You know, when I looked in the mirror, I still saw that woman who was pregnant and helpless. You know, and my pregnancy was it was a struggle from beginning to end. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely there was postpartum,
Uh-huh.
right?
So
And
many women don't know they have it, right? They
yeah,
don't
you
realize.
absolutely, and they just, you know, get caught in that spiral, right? Unless they decide that it's something, you know, that they really need to get out of. So after that, it was hard because I had to start from somewhere. So I went back to what I knew best was being very strict with my diet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like counting calories and having like panic attacks if I ate too much or too
Yeah.
little, and thought that my exterior had to change in order to be accepted,
Yeah.
right? And so what I started doing, like it was quite interesting, because what I started doing was I ended up becoming a personal trainer, right? And then what I thought was I had to beat my body up,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I hated my body then, so I thought in order for me to love myself, I had to beat my body up and punish it in the gym and when it came to food, in order to be that strong independent woman,
Yeah.
you know, to from the
So
outside.
much self-punishment. Being independent woman is so many women experiences. I
Yeah,
definitely went through this so much too. Like, to be independent, you have to be tough on yourself. You
yeah,
have to, you know, you have to be able to withstand all sorts of criticisms, and the worst criticism is actually judgment coming from yourself,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And while you are taking all of that in, you have to put a smile on your face and say to everybody that I'm okay, I got it, you know, until you don't and you crash and you burn. So when I after doing personal training, you know, it still wasn't fulfilling me. I still felt that disconnect. I'm like, I'm working out, and I was quite toned actually, but I still wasn't happy inside. I was so disconnected from self, and I still would look at myself in the mirror, and I would still see that woman years ago who had a little bit of baby weight that I, like, in my mind it seemed so much bigger than it was, but that's what it was. And that then I really found nutrition where I started to, right when I started to shift what I ate, not because I had to maintain a certain body type, but really nourish myself. So I would nourish um, um, what my soul needed, right? Like the foods that were for me, not like truly for my body, rather than to like feed a muscle group,
Mhm.
right? I let go of counting calories, and when I started doing that, I started to feel peaceful, and then really working through my mindset on like loving my body, and not in a way where, you know, you stand in the mirror and you say I love my body. No, but like really feeling it and knowing that each part of your body plays a certain role in your life, and you have to be thankful of that. and
Yeah.
and going through, like, I put myself through my own program. That's pretty much
Yeah.
what
Yeah. It
I
always
did.
starts that way. An excellent coach starts with applying their own stuff on themselves. And actually, that's how we come up
Yeah,
with the program. Because my program's the same. It's like I went through lots of marketing courses, you know, lots of different shiny objects. And then when I actually start to get traction, is what I'm teaching now is what I had to teach myself first.
mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It's
That's
like,
why it works.
and that's why it works. And I started to think clearly. I started to have more energy. I wasn't obsessed with what I was eating. I felt more connected with who I am rather than what I saw physically.
Mhm.
And people around me started to notice. They're like, you know what, like your skin looks more radiant. In the comments I would get like, oh, we didn't know you were like in your 40s, all of that things. And then what are you doing? I'm like, I
Yeah.
found me. I
Yeah.
found me. Right. And then I decided to actually go back to school and go a little bit deeper into nutrition and really know, like, different body types and how to feed that body and how to really nourish your mind. And the reason I chose holistic nutrition is because for me, it's not like your body is separate, your mind is separate, the food that you eat is separate. It's all combined, right?
Mhm.
It takes there's no separation. Like I did a post on Instagram a couple of days ago, I think last week or so, but just on like how I began with thinking every aspect of my life is separate, but it's really not. It's the same thing in your program. It's like you
Yeah.
can't, you have to look at yourself, you have to look at your relationships. And
You have to look at if you have shitty personal relationship, you're not going to succeed in business.
no, absolutely not. And the same thing with my clients is, like if you have those relationships in your life that are dragging you down, that are
Yeah.
making you second guess
Yeah.
yourself
Yeah.
and your self-worth, where is that going to take you? It's going to take you to where you find comfort. It's going to take you to undesired food choices
Yeah.
that you wouldn't necessarily otherwise be doing. And the same thing, it takes in your program, like it'll take you to self-sabotage.
Yeah. Absolutely. And sporadic results. That's the other thing I see, is like the constant yo-yoing of like, oh, this month I made 10K, the next month I make nothing. And then it's like, and then for months there's nothing. And then, right? Like we all
Yeah.
go through that.
Yeah.
And the actual reason is who you're being. It's
That's
the
right.
role that you play in
Yeah.
your personal relationship. You do the exact same thing
Yeah.
with clients. You do the exact same thing with your prospects, or the people say, oh, I have no idea how to get clients. That is not a thing. Clients are everywhere.
They are. They really are. They're right there, and they're just waiting for you to step up.
Yeah,
So
clients
you
are everywhere, but they need to be convinced by seeing you. If they're not convinced by seeing you, you're gonna have no clients, basically.
yeah.
It's very easy. It comes straight to that. It's like, are you an expert? Do you 100%, 1,000% believe in what you do? Do you represent that in every area of your life? Right? Do you live it?
Yes. You have to live like you are your own walking billboard.
In anything that we do,
In
is
any
that you can't preach what you don't practice.
Yes, absolutely, because it will show up. It will show up in your productivity. It will show up in your monthly finances,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Because so many people talk about self-worth, but what is your self-worth tied to? Is like, self-worth is the biggest self-care, right?
yes,
It's
yeah,
knowing what your thing is.
yes,
Number one,
yeah,
living it, putting your life into it every single day. That takes real self-belief, and
yeah,
that is self-love. The next step is also looking and seeing, like, what else are you holding on to that's not serving you in your life?
yeah, yeah. And then also we tend to like sugarcoat things,
Yeah.
and like, again, like yesterday I did a post on like self-care and what does self-love really mean. Like, yes, you can, you can go and take a bath, you can go and get your nails done, you can do all of this stuff, but
That's not
so
self-care.
short-lived. It's not. It's not self-love. It's self-care. You're caring for yourself, and which is great. But
Yeah.
self-love is really like going through the process of like sitting in your uncomfortable, like we talk about, right? Being uncomfortable and realizing what is making you uncomfortable because you're in your own way,
Yeah.
right? And until you sit down, you do the work, you go through the modules,
Yeah.
right? And see like where the disconnect is. Until then, you think you'll just go get your nails done and that's it, and tomorrow will be better. And again, I'm not knocking the fact that don't get your nails done. Of course I do. We do, and it's nice to treat yourself, but that's not gonna fix the underlining problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Amazing. So there's so many things here. Who we're being is what generates business results. And also what you touch on that is really amazing is this amazing life after a huge transition and heartbreak. So many people go through this. So many people go through, if it's not divorce, it's also things like, you know, having a big fallout with someone in your family that you really care about and you've been trying to make it work, right? There are many different types of transitions when it comes to relationships, and having a thriving life and choosing yourself when it's a hard decision to make. That theme is amazing. And also just, you know, living your life and being your walking billboard. I think that is also an amazing theme that you represent.
Yeah, yeah, and that was that was hard for me to work through, like we say, when we put ourselves through our own program,
Mhm.
right? Like, you know, I had to sit and really look at myself and be like, okay, you know, what is going on here? Like, what are you need to just really be clear on the direction you want to go and the direction you want to you take your clients, right? Like, really zone in on what's important in your life and what deserves that time, and what doesn't, and everything that doesn't, let it go.
Yeah.
Like, work on it, let it go, right? And then, I mean, it's like, again, like what I say in nutrition is a lot of weight we carry is not even physical weight, it's emotional weight, it's
Yeah.
baggage,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And everything that happens
That's great.
to you, it's happening for you,
Yeah.
right?
Ashika, if we just to wrap up this interview now, this has been full of wisdom. Thank you so much for being here and taking the time to do this. If you could tell another woman entrepreneur
Mm-hmm.
who's in a place where she feels like she's stuck or she's struggling and she's putting in effort and she's just not moving forward, what is the one advice that you could give her?
Oh, one. That's a tough one.
I know. That's a good question, right?
One advice I would give her is that she is not alone. We all go through this.
Yeah.
Those of us that have a lesson to learn and knowledge to give, that, you know, that she's not alone, and that once she decides to really level up and do the work that is required for her,
Yeah.
to whether like work to work with a coach, to just see her priorities as something that is going to add to her life rather than take away from her life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that I think is to see the bigger picture and look out and be present and look to the future, because looking back is just going to keep you stuck.
Yeah. And it's funny how the best life decisions, even then, you have a lot of resistance going into it. And I'm sure you find this with your clients too.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of resistance, a lot of I can't,
Mm-hmm.
not ready.
It won't work.
Yes, it won't work, or afraid. They're afraid that they're going to like the future more than where they are right now, and that's going to require a shift, and that shift is uncomfortable,
Of course, yeah.
right? So
Thank you so much, Ashika. That's such a great interview. I'll drop a link on how people can contact you as well if they're interested in working with you. Where can they find you? I'll also drop a link, but what is the best way they can contact you?
They can find me on Facebook. Just go straight to my Facebook page, Ashika Lasani, or it can find me at on Instagram at Ashika Lasani Wellness.
Yeah. And if they want to work with you, do you have an email or should they go to your website? What would be the best way?
Yeah, they can send me an email at hello@ashikalasani.com.
Perfect.
So everything's, yeah, pretty simple to contact me. But thank you so much for having me on. And you've just been an amazing ray of sunshine in my life. And the work that you do, it's like every woman needs to work with you, because it's just, you find you and you take out all the other bullshit.
That is so accurate.
Especially as a coach, it's like you helped me get out of my own way so I could be more present for my clients, and I will forever be thankful for that.
Thank you so much, Ashika.
Thank you.
Making an amazing difference in women's life, and we'll be doing this again sometime soon.
Okay, thanks, Julia.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.